It's Souptember day 6, and today we're making my favorite broccoli cheddar soup, and it's going to be ready in just 40 minutes. Hi friends, my name's Christina. I'm with eatingonadime.com. Welcome to my sister Carrie's kitchen. My sister and I are on a mission to teach real families how to make real food at home, even on a budget. And it's officially Souptember. We are kicking off the start of fall with 30 days of our favorite soup recipes. I have the email sign up below where you will get one in your inbox every day for 30 days straight, and you guys are gonna love them, love them, love them. So if you love soup as much as I do, let me know below what is your favorite. Broccoli cheddar is probably one of my favorite soups. I love it. I love it, love it. It's kind of a guilty pleasure soup that I eat every season, and it's so easy to make at home. I've linked today's recipe in the description below, as well as all the utensils I'm using. So if you ever have any questions, just check that below. Sorry about that little Rosie Roo knocked the camera a little bit. So everybody make sure you guys shout out Rosie below. If you are new here, Carrie and I adopted sibling puppies, Rosie and Rio. I don't really know if they're puppies anymore, but I still call them that. So we're going to roll with it. So, all right, today's recipe is all made on the stovetop. And if you've been following us for a while, we always say the number one thing with cooking on the stovetop is to just get everything ready. So before we move to the stovetop, let's get all of our ingredients ready so this soup cooks quickly. First thing you need for this recipe is broccoli. You can't have broccoli cheddar soup without broccoli. You need 4 cups broccoli florets. This is just trimmed and cut off. You can use whatever you would like, fresh. This was like a bag with the florets already cut off because that was the best quality right now in our grocery store, and that's going to work great. You can use frozen as well. That will work perfectly fine in this recipe. It's just going to cook a lot quicker. So broccoli done, 4 cups set aside. Now you need an onion. Now we're going to get our onion ready. For this recipe, I'm using 1 whole yellow onion. We're going to chop it using our food chopper. If you've been following us a while, you know that we're obsessed with this. It's a great way to chop up veggies in no time at all. So first you just want to peel your onion, cut the ends off, and peel the outer edge of the onion. Go ahead and cut this in half. And then when I use the food chopper on an onion, what I like to do is once the onion is peeled, go ahead and quarter it. And then we're going to place it in that chopper so that it gets nicely diced up pieces. So when I put it in the chopper, once it's quartered, I put the little point part down, almost like a triangle point, and then you just chop it down. It's real easy. And before you know it, you have beautifully chopped onions. Let me get this other one ready. Some of the onion skin is still hanging on. And I like it too because I don't cry as much when I use this chopper with onions. It's like, doesn't get to me as bad. So depending on how you like your broccoli cheddar soup, chunky or more smooth, you can dice up your broccoli florets into smaller pieces. You could even put them in this chopper as well to make them even smaller if you would like. I like a little bit of chunks in my broccoli cheddar soup. That's just my preference. I like bigger pieces of broccoli. I think it tastes great. But if you don't, you can chop it up further, or I'll show you a tip at the end to get it nice and smooth as well. And the secret to the best broccoli cheddar soup is a carrot. Something about it. It adds a touch of sweetness and still savory. It's great. We're going to need 1 carrot. This is peeled. I'm going to cut the ends off, and we are going to shred it. This is just a cheese shredder that I have. We're just going to shred this so that it doesn't give, a lot of texture in that soup, but it'll give all the flavor. This takes a little bit of time, but it really brings the wow factor to the soup, so don't skip this step. Heat a large stock pot or Dutch oven over medium-high heat. Add in 4 tablespoons of butter and let it melt. Once the butter is melted, reduce the heat down to medium, and we're going to add in those diced onions and saute these for about 5 minutes until they're nice and soft. Using our favorite spoon/spatula that we love, love, love. It's linked below. If you guys haven't gotten it yet, it is a game changer. Once the onions are nice and soft, Soft, add in 2 garlic cloves minced or 2 teaspoons pre-minced garlic. You just want to cook this for about 1 to 2 minutes until you can start to smell the garlic. You don't want to put it in at the beginning because you could risk burning that garlic. Add in 1/4 cup all-purpose flour. We're just going to cook this for a few minutes. You want to coat the onions with the flour. Cook it on medium heat, and we're just going to try to get that. Cook the flour to get the raw taste of the flour out because we're going to use this to make a roux, which is going to make a beautiful soup for us. When I'm kind of scraping the brown bits off the bottom because that adds a lot of flavor to the soup. So as you're tossing it, just make sure you kind of scrape that so it gets into the mixture. Now we're going to slowly add in some chicken broth. We're going to add in 4 cups chicken broth or 1 carton. Add in about a cup at a time and then whisk it so that it's combined and smooth. Keep adding 1 cup and whisking because you don't want any lumps in your soup. Keep going until it's all added. This is the last part here. I'm just using a metal whisk, but any whisk that you have will work. I do recommend a whisk just to help get out any lumps that could be forming because of the flour. Everybody say hi, Rosie. Then we're going to whisk in 2 cups milk. And whisk so that it's combined and smooth. Once that is combined, add in your 4 cups of broccoli and add in that shredded carrot. Stir to combine those ingredients. Return the heat to about medium, and we want to bring this to a low simmer. Now we're going to add in the seasoning. Start with 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. This adds so much flavor. 1/2 teaspoon of paprika, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Then stir to incorporate all of the seasonings. And then again, I like when I stir, I kind of scrape down to get those brown bits because that's really what's going to add that flavor to your soup. Once it's starting to simmer and you can see it around the edges, reduce the heat to low, and we're going to let this simmer on low for about 15 to 20 minutes until that broccoli is nice and tender. While the soup is simmering, I'm going to go ahead and get the cheese ready. I do recommend that you grate your own cheese for this recipe. You need about 2 cups shredded Sharp Cheddar Cheese. I'm going to use this really quick shredder. I'm going to link it below. It's awesome. What's really cool about it is it'll lock straight to the counter and it shreds really quickly. So in our experience, 8-ounce block is about 2 cups. So that's what I'm going to use for today. I just cut it down into smaller pieces. The puppies are still here, guys. Let's see how this works. And shred it away. You can just hold it down with this and then turn the shredder and it shreds it immediately for you. So the reason we like to use fresh cheese is that pre-shredded cheese is generally coated with some kind of starch that makes it not melt as smooth and the texture is kind of off. So we do recommend, especially when doing a soup, that you grate your own. It only adds a couple minutes, but the flavor it adds is amazing. Once the broccoli is nice and tender, I had to do mine for about 20 minutes just because the broccoli pieces were kind of bigger. You want to remove it from the heat. So I'm just going to move it over to a burner that's off. Now I'm going to use an immersion blender to blend this up slightly. So if you're not familiar with an immersion blender, what it is, it's a blender like on an end of a stick that goes into soups and helps make the texture a little bit creamy. When you use it, you want to make sure it's plugged in. You put it into the soup before you turn it on, and then you turn it on and you keep it in the liquid as you move it around. You can immerse it as much as you want. So if you still want it a little bit chunkier, you can do it that way. If you don't have an immersion blender, you can take like half the soup, put it into a blender, blend it up, and then pour it back in, and that's going to give you the same results. I just want to show you up close in case you're new to this immersion blender. So make sure it's in the liquid before you turn it on And for mine, you hold the button down and it goes while you hold the button down, and you can move it around. Now, I still want some pieces of broccoli in there personally. You can do it till it's all blended up. If you're wanting to get the broccoli, you can put the blender at like a slight angle. Just still make sure it's in the liquid and it'll get kind of those pieces there. Just kind of move it around until it's like a creamy texture. You can do it as little or as much as you like based on your preference. Leave it off the heat and add in a half a cup of heavy cream and then your shredded cheese. This is about 2 cups shredded sharp cheddar, blah, 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 can't say it. And then you just want to keep mixing it until it's melted and combined. Once it's fully melted and incorporated, that's it. Your soup is ready to serve. Now it's time for my favorite part, serving it up. Nothing screams fall more than a bowl of warm soup. Now remember, when you blend it up, you can leave more chunks than you like, or you can puree it more. I'm not sure if I said that right. I like a couple broccoli chunks in mine. That's just my personal preference. And then I'm going to put a little extra cheese on top because cheese makes everything better. I have a fuzzy little friend that joined me down here that says he would like to try the soup. This is Samson. Okay, and then of course we have to serve with bread because you can't have soup without a delicious baguette. Ooh, I love dipping it in there. It is amazing, friends. Don't forget, if you like today's Soup-tember recipe, you can get all 30 of our favorite soup recipes right in your email. The link is in the description below. You want to sign up so that you get all of them and you can make your fall and winter full of delicious soups that everyone's going to love. Thank you guys so much for joining me today in my sister's kitchen. I cannot wait for you guys to try this delicious broccoli cheese soup. And then once you do, let us know on the recipe itself what you think about it by leaving us a review and a comment. We love hearing from you guys. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. We are doing 10 videos, all soup recipes in September called Soup-tember, and I don't want you to miss them all. So like, subscribe, make sure you get the notifications, and we will see you guys tomorrow for another delicious soup recipe. All right, friends, I am out of here. Do not forget, eat at home by eating on a dime. Bye, friends.